All of our lines drawn, washed away in the sand.
I believe in love, even when it's dark.
I'm trying to write a happy poem, naively hoping that somehow enough good folks with a poem or a song or a mural or a camera might defeat some bad guys with guns and badges.
When will we say we're too valuable?
Me to stay inside their box afraid. If my box moved, their box might topple from its comfortable perch.
Some way to let you know the colors are gone when you go.
I don't wanna sing no more. Nobody listens like before.
Father knows best. About fallopian tubes he does not have. About a clitoris he never even bothers to find.
Oh sure, America made little statuettes of a very white, very placid woman holding scales, trinkets to remind them of their cleverness.
What you looking for? What can we share? If you're never there.
Step 7. Explain in a sonnet how Breonna Taylor could have slept more lawfully.
And though everyone tries to smile, we're clearly out of context.
It was hush-hush when my mom was 16 and noticed a peer disappear for 9 months. Babies aren't quiet, but their mothers always had to be.
I don't want your poison. I don't want your money or cream. I don't want your future. I want a future too.
With sunglasses, high heels, purse, helmet, machine gun, flamethrower. You could dress them up for a day at the beach or march them off to war. Societal gender expectations, each sold separately.
Most people cower when the future is unclear. The scripted future is the only thing I feel.
Aside hush puppies, like we didn't make all the animals hush.
1. I didn't yet know that hope could just explode without a warning sign. 2. But I knew Julie Polano was the cutest girl in school.
I guess that's why I travel. I guess that's why I'm running. I can't be haunted when I'm hunting. I am still sheepish, and I'm still sleepless.
There is blood on the street, but even as the evidence pools at our feet, many continue to deny the existence of bloodstains.
Towards who you want me to be is strong, but trapped is not where I belong. Till I'm home, till I'm home.
As the tempest tossed away, our claim to be the hero of the story started to conflict with the body count. Well, hello, and welcome to the fantastic Rialto Theater. We are honored that you came and joined to spend the evening with us. We have a beautiful night. We have some beautiful music. We have some beautiful poetry. Unfortunately, they sent the angry poet up first, and no one would probably call my poetry beautiful. But I am going to offer you poetry today. In fact, last time I performed on this stage, my friend Karen Starr sent me a message afterwards saying, just wanted to tell you how much I uncomfortably enjoyed your poetry Saturday, which is one of my favorite descriptions of my work I've ever heard. So I hope you uncomfortably enjoy some of the pieces I have. I've got a few pieces to start off the night, and then we have some other fantastic folks that will be coming up onto this stage. Homework assignment for anyone who shares any variation of "the police won't bother you if you don't break the law." Step 1. Outline each law broken by Elijah McClain, include subheadings. Step 2. Quote the criminal codes violated by a Tatiana Jefferson, use footnotes. Step 3. Brainstorm 12 ways Amadou Diallo could have more legally danced between the 41 bullets fired at him. Be prepared to discuss your thoughts in class. Step 4. Write a biography on the 7-year life of Ayanna Jones. Annotate any illegality. Step 5. Summarize the penal code infringements of Tamir Rice. Submit via Google Classroom. Step 6. Create a Venn diagram to show the intersection of laws broken by John Crawford and Botham Jean. Step 7. Explain in a sonnet how Breonna Taylor could have slept more lawfully. Step 8. List the legal missteps of Philando Castile. Use bullet points. Step 9. Write a 12-page research paper on stop and frisk policies, single space. Step 10. Create a PowerPoint on the history of racial profiling, cite at least 4 sources. Step 11. Multiple choice. Find the law that calls for immediate street execution. A. Failure to use a turn signal. B. Suspected use of a forged $20 bill. C. Accusations of selling cigarettes without a license. D. A broken taillight. Step 12. Stand in front of the class and recite the First Amendment. Use Google or Wikipedia if necessary. Step 13. Watch at least 10 videos of police turning tear gas and rubber bullets on those exercising their First Amendment rights. Personal reflection due Monday. Got it back. Step 14. Write a limerick or a haiku about the racism and privilege you now see reflected in your mirror. Step 15. Repeat until you realize how fucking clueless you sound. Thank you very much. So I've told people before, poetry is how I vent, how I express, how I deal with a world that seems way too unjust and way lacking in compassion. Poetry is the reason I'm not screaming out of my back door. So thank you for being here tonight. So I'm not just screaming out of my back door tonight, and I can express myself in perhaps a more productive manner. Another boring English lesson. A funny thing, the English language. Like how fish as a noun means one of 32,000 species, while fish as a verb means to attempt to kill them. Life and death literally hanging between the parts of speech. Fish, noun, an underwater breather. Fish, verb, to take their breath. Interjection, damn. Fish, noun, an animal with scale-covered flesh. Fish, verb, to pierce their flesh. Simile, the contrast cutting like a fillet knife. Fish, noun, a living being. Fish, verb, to end their life. Prepositional phrase without a second thought. Fish, noun, an animal who feels pain. Fish, verb, to ignore their pain. With pronoun replacing the antecedent, we've hooked our compassion and drowned it in tartar sauce. Fish, noun, a vertebrate unable to scream. Fish, verb, to sit in the breeze and pretend killing is peaceful. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I do have a brand new book, and I'm going to tell you about it now, partly because it helps to let you know about something coming out later. But my book is called Continuity Flaws. It is at the merch table outside with the big angry cow on it. So this is what it's called. It's got a cover, amazing cover by Jennifer Fournier. I'm really, really proud of my book. I love how this turned out. But literally my favorite part of my book is something I didn't do, and Jenna gets all the credit for that. I think the cover's amazing.
Is she here tonight?
I don't believe Jenna's here, but holler if you are. She's fantastic. All right, I don't believe Jenna's here, but you can find her online. So the title, I became a film geek in college, and sometimes, different people have different experiences, different knowledge levels, different things we know. Yeah, Eileen, right, we've hung at the nightlight many times. So if you're not familiar with the term continuity flaws means, it's going to become important later in the show. The title piece, which I'll read later in the show, works way better. People understand with others, like, what the hell does that mean? So if you're not yet familiar, you've seen it, you're aware of it, even if you know the title. So continuity flaw is an accidental error in how things flow. And a lot of times you can see it in film or television where you see from different angles and things change that aren't supposed to. A lamp's on the table and then it's gone. The level of the glass goes up and down and up and down. Somebody's hairstyle changes, somebody's collar goes up, whatever. And just because they took it at different times, at a lunch break, or they filmed it 4 days later or whatever, and they didn't exactly match it. And if the story's good enough, we tend to overlook the continuity flaws. And that's how the pieces in my poem, and a lot of pieces I do in general, looking at those flaws between the values we profess as individuals, as a collective society, and the actions that we take. The next piece I'm going to read for you, my friend Dion D. Hunter, who's an amazing poet in North Carolina, but she had called Northeast Ohio home for many, many years. And we were chatting on the phone, and she was discussing this experience she'd had with sexism. I don't know if some of you know that sexism exists, like, on a regular, daily basis. And so we were having this discussion, and we were just kind of talking through all kinds of things. And sometimes sexism is just, like, straight up cruel. Like, that's the point. And sometimes sexism is just fucking stupid. Like you're not helping yourself. Like, what your end goal was, you're, like, being really idiotic. So anyway, I made an analogy when we were on the phone. And I'm like, you should write that poem. And Dion's like, you should write that poem. So, consensual candy. I did. The taste of candy, sweet to the lips. Sugary satisfaction, confectionery ecstasy. Candy land should be candy heaven for all who choose to indulge. But a straight man in a candy store is too often a bull in a china shop. Oblivious to his surroundings and careless in his destruction. Double dipping, double standards, grabbing handfuls of hypocrisy. Mocking her sweet tooth with names meant to degrade for the same sugary desire he prides himself on. Candy slut if she consents, candy prude if she denies. Set up for ridicule regardless of her choice as he attempts to shame her for wanting what he himself desires. Not the most intelligent of candy connoisseurs, this bull of a man, as candy is consensual, and if she declines dessert, he'll have only the distant memory of the taste and his own sticky hands. Thank you. Appreciate that. So I told you I was going to be angry. I'm an angry cow, which came about. Writing Nights was doing these sword fight competitions, and they encouraged us years ago, pre-COVID world, to do characters and things, and I'm like, costumes, I don't know what to do. But a lot of my pieces, and vegan, you may guess, but a lot of my pieces are, especially at that point in time, we still have a good bit, but the stronger percentage at that point in time were really based on how we view animals and then how we talk about it. Like, oh, this is love. Oh, these cows are happy. Like, what the fuck? Did you see what we're doing to them? That's happy? Okay. So anyway, everything I do now is under angry cow poetry. I don't wear the cow suit terribly often anymore. But I do use angry cow poetry when I write my own work or print my own work, when I appear as a performer, and also when I record other people. We have every first Wednesday here at the amazing Rialto, at the living room you walk through. We have Angry Cow Poetry in the Rialto living room every first Wednesday. Join us, feature artist every month. Last month was fantastic. Teresa Gattle-Brightman, who's right there, and Steve Brightman, who's not with us tonight, but they were amazing. It is recorded and will be online soon. You can go to angrycowpoetry.com and you can find all kinds of cool stuff. I have two more for you, and then we're going to bring on the next performer. This one was a response. So as you can imagine, when you speak out openly about, hey, this is kind of screwed up what we do to animals, sometimes, I don't know if you know or not, there's some pushback. So this is a response. When you kill cows yet are offended to be perceived as a killer. To the rancher who tagged me in his video asking if his cows looked unhappy, I responded, show me a video of their slaughter and we'll see. Footage never arriving. An abusive boyfriend can always find a picture of her smile. Can always pick the moments when she doesn't see the danger in his eyes, the times when his touch was gentle, the calms before the storm. The image conveniently framed to crop out the terror. Those moments of trust when the victim doesn't know your plans for their flesh. An illusion of happiness, easily digested. A photo of the wall before the fist smashes the plaster. A photo of the cow before the bolt smashes the brain, before the screams, before the blood, before the silence we all knew was coming. Thank you. I have one more poem for you. Now, this poem is brand new. As we've talked about, not all my poems are happy. So I'm sitting with Zach a couple days ago, and we're talking about that, and I'm like, oh, man, I need to write some happy poems. I am happy some of the time. And we're talking, and Zach kind of gave me a baseline. He's like, okay, well, your poem, I'm trying to write a happy poem. And we're like, yeah, but this, Supreme Court, and Acro Police, and everything. I was like, yeah, okay. So we went to Gretchen's amazing show. You're going to see Gretchen Pleuss in a few minutes here. Gretchen performed last night in Worcester, and Zach and I went, and she was fantastic, as she always is. And we came back, and as we pulled in my driveway, the fireflies were putting on a show. It was beautiful. They were everywhere, flashing all through the trees in the backyard. And we ended up pulling some chairs out of the garage, and we just sat there and watched for a long time. And I put what I had thought about a couple days before when Zach had this, trying to write this happy poem idea. And that just kind of gave me a good endpoint. So the last piece, I will come back on a little bit. Last piece for you for now is called, I'm Trying to Write a Happy Poem. I'm trying to write a happy poem. So I sit watching the beauty of the fireflies rapidly flashing through the trees. I'm trying to write a happy poem, but then I remember the rapid flashing of 90 bullets firing into the blurred image of another unarmed black man taken at the hands of the law. I'm trying to write a happy poem, so I snuggle closely with my dog and listen to the sound of his heartbeat. And then I think of how Jalen Walker doesn't have one anymore, but I'm trying to write a happy poem. So I listen to the coyote howl in the peacefulness of the night sky. I'm trying to write a happy poem, but I hear our city government call for peace while police use a protester as a punching bag. I'm trying to write a happy poem, naively hoping that somehow enough good folks with a poem or a song or a mural or a camera might defeat some bad guys with guns and badges. I'm trying to write a happy poem, but the canvas continues to be splattered in red. I'm trying to write a happy poem where justice wins in the end, where the police are held accountable, where the system is changed, where I pull up my red hood and don my perfectly sized glass slippers and follow the breadcrumbs all the way to grandmother's house, where the porridge is not too cold and it's not too hard, because I'm trying to write a happy poem, but the wolf gobbles me up as the clock strikes midnight and my poem turns back into a pumpkin. Thank you so much. I didn't say I succeeded in trying to write a happy poem. I just really did try. So we have coming to the stage right now the amazing, fantastic Zach. Please give it up for Zach.
The Firefly show was incredible. So fast, I awoke and it had passed. I never got to sing you my song. Would you ever listen? And we've been dancing on. Now my feet are slipped. I'm seeing who can afford the rent. And though everyone tries to smile, we're clearly out of context. And I've never seen this much snow. Oh, well, it's not bullshit. And the traffic seems to grow. I thought space was infinite. Across the loop, everyone is on their own. And it's hard to assume that which we don't know. In the beginning there was love. In the beginning, in the beginning there was love. In the look through the window into the house. Then there's the door to keep the people out. Look through the window and all about. Run through the door, you need to get out. Well, these vows come in two languages. Ain't that convenience? And we pledge our souls to the church of corporate. When in the beginning there was love. In the beginning, in the beginning there was love. In the beginning. Back to love, we're going. 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 Back to love. Oh, back to love, back to love, back to love. We got to go back to love, back to love, back to love. Thank you. It's called Beginning, and it's off of a record that I released last year. I don't know. Time is meaningless anymore, so who knows? Sometime. And yeah, so I'm gonna do something else. This is called The Silence Shifts. Lady Justice is one of the long-missing indigenous women. Her face won't be on a milk carton or on a viral Facebook post. She was a powerful black woman known as Mayat and Isis and Kalaratri. She was stolen from the land, and in her place the Greeks offered DK and Themis, whose face was far more pale. But even she was stolen away. When one day Emperor Augustus crowned Justita as the new justice, she was not allowed in public. No, not while Rome set about conquering the whole world. Rape, murder, and pillage could not be condoned by justice, so they made her mute. That was not enough. Britain, too, could not abide with justice. Though mute, she found ways to break the silence. There's always a way with the heart. So they blindfolded her, that she could not see the blood covering the white hands of her captors. Once the New World became America, they had no need for justice at all. Even through the blindfold, she could see the genocide and desecration, the screams, cries, prayers could not escape her ears. She lifted her sword in fury and has not been seen since. Oh sure, America made little statuettes of a very white, very placid woman holding scales, trinkets to remind them of their cleverness, and to remind the poor and melon people of the world that justice is now stone and lifeless. Somewhere in South Dakota, as the sun sets upon the grassy plains, justice lies in a shallow, unmarked grave. As the New World dances in drunken revelry, thinking they had seen the last of Our Lady, a tsunami rises from the deep. A scream wells up, shaking the crust of the land. A fire of rage sparks in the Oregon forest. For justice had many daughters. They knew the names of Mayat, Isis, and Kalaratri. Their swords have been sharpened by the pain of centuries, and they are not silent, nor porcelain, nor blindfolded. It's so lovely to see you all tonight. The world is chaos, but we are all here. And I don't know what the answers are, but I know that it's together. I know that it's community. These were the last words I ever say. Maybe I'd say I love you. Maybe I'd say my heart never left you. Maybe I'd say nothing at all. These were the last words I ever say. Maybe I'll say your name. Maybe I'll say your name. Maybe I'll say your name. So listen, when the breeze blows your kisses, I miss it, your warmth tonight. These were the last words I ever say. I hope I don't fuck 'em. Some SOS you can't translate, some ill-timed joke. These were the last words I ever say. Maybe I'll sing your name. Maybe I'll sing your name. Maybe I'll sing your name. So listen, and the breeze blows your kisses. I miss it, your warmth tonight. Some way to let you know the colors are gone when you go. Some way to let you in to the love I could never quite give. Some way to hold you close. these were the last words I ever say. Maybe I'd say I love you. Maybe I'd say I love you. Maybe I'd say I love you. Maybe I'll sing your name. Listen, the breeze blows your kisses. I'm missing your warmth these words, and thanks for listening to me. We're gonna have now the amazing and fantastic Gretchen Pleuss come on up to the stage.
Yeah.
She's gonna do some songs for us.
Oh, I like that. It's the
You can keep.
atmosphere, chaos.
I got more of that coming.
It's good, it's good. How's everybody doing?
Good now that we're hearing wonderful music and poetry.
Right.
That's where it's at. You know, I'm really glad that we pulled this off because we did something similar a couple years ago now. And it's one of my favorite things to share the stage to with people that stand for something. And I think that art is where you get to do that in particular. And I think it's really beautiful to see people using their skills and their, consciences for something. I don't know if it's bigger than them. I don't know what the word would be, but that's why I love Keith and I love Zach, because they stand for something. They care about people. They care about all beings, and they always bring amazing art to whomever will listen. So, thanks, Keith and Zach.
Love you.
Also, because they're weird, and I like weird. All right, let's see if it's acclimated. Yes. So I'm gonna start off with a brand new song, and I've been playing it slowly out, and each time it's less and less chaotic. But I've also decided, since it's a night of poetry too, I would read a couple poems here and there. So I'm going to start with this one. This one's called Notebooks. So this poem kind of leads into the thought behind the song that I'm going to play, which is called Lines. This poem is called Notebooks. Do people change, or do circumstances, between second chances and first goodbyes? I don't say goodbye, I disappear. too stubborn to hear about dying. To see you again alone is a reminder to run, as we've always done, to separate parts of the earth, screaming into notebooks, while never acknowledging words exist. I didn't leave you. You were never there.
This isn't a birth or a death or escape. The cord falls from the nape when it's no longer needed. At least that's how I see it. One and one always make two, but a third often has the last word. Even if you don't hear it, you should still fear it. You can't compel me, stay for the end. All of our lines drawn, washed away in the sand. Everything balances out on the scales. If it's heavy, it fails, and there's no getting even. That's why I'm leaving. It wasn't an ambush or part of the plan. You know, I understand, but I don't let go easy. So will you release me? You can't compel me, stay for the end. All of our lines drawn, wash away in the sand. All our labored love has gone to waste. There's no room here, there's no view here, no safe harbor to take space. Every time I try to break for air, I go under, and I wonder how much longer I can bear. This isn't a birth, but a death it may be. If it's no longer me, then I've gotta go find her and get back behind her. This is my song now. These are my lines. This is my side. Oh, you can choose yours. This is my song now. You can write yours. I'll sing along someday. Just let me go first. I'll sing along someday. Just let me go first. I'll sing along someday. Just let me go first.
Thank you. I'm still sort of sandpapering that one down, so that's why I'm forcing myself to do it more often.
Love it.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. I would love to invite Matt up here to play with me, if that's cool. I know, I've done that many times. I think at my release show here, I actually hit my head so hard that I blacked out for like 30 seconds.
You hit it so hard, I blacked out. I don't remember that.
I didn't pass out, I just said I blacked out. I remember what I said afterward. So speaking of album release, this was, the last time, I think this might have been the last time I played here was the album release, Daughter That Brought Her Skies, so we're gonna do that title track in just a minute. You guys are so quiet and so awesome.
Is this mic on? Oh, cool. It's really, really a treat to have such a wonderful, attentive audience. Mm-hmm. Like, one thing that COVID showed us musicians is that, like, this is really, really a two-way street. And, you know, we can hang out and play music together, but it really takes on a whole other dimension of communal sharing when we all get together and share these experiences. So thank you so much. You guys are great. I'm stoked.
I know, the problem is that it makes me freaking nervous. It's scary when people are actually listening. I'm going to read another poem to lead right into this one, too. If you don't know that about me, I do write poetry, and I posted, if you follow my website, GretchenPleuss.com, there's a little tab on there that says poetry, and I post most stuff that I write on there, so if you like any of this stuff, you can find it there and, you know, put it on a shirt, wear it around, whatever you want. This one's called Rough Drafts. The impetuous screeching of cicadas, suffocating Ohio summers with their cries for attention every 17 years. Like teenage hyenas at head row, desperately seeking prey in the shadows of disheveled baseball diamonds, dust-ridden and ravenous. We like to believe we can time-stamp high noon, radiant and thick with promise. But we are all bugs, buzzing with life, only to wane at first frost, leaving crumpled carcasses and rough drafts rather than legacies. here. We're going to do some in the round type stuff. Thanks for being here with us tonight. This is fun. It's an experiment. Everything's an experiment, and I think that's what makes it, keeps it fresh for all of us.
All right, I just want to say while we get set up, so I'm listening to Zach perform If These Were the Last Words. Is that the right title? Yeah. Something. And we did a whole bunch of videos for Zach's guideline release. And with Zach, releases are like, oh, that was like 8 months and 3 albums ago. And I really don't know the timeline, but that might not be off. Zach's last 3 albums are also at the merch table, as are Gretchen's 3 albums. You really should pick up some music tonight, because they're fantastic.
Yes,
But we did,
should.
what's that, Eileen?
Yes, they should.
Yes, they should. Absolutely. Thank you. So we did a whole bunch of videos for Zach, did a release watch party where we made videos and we sat and watched listened throughout the album. We have different songs for different ones. Kevin Richards and Jason Chamberlain, who's in the room, made videos. There he is. And I made videos as well. And the one we did for If These Were the Last Words, Zach had compiled a whole bunch of final words from lots of famous people, some less famous, some extremely famous. And it turned out just to be it was a simple idea, but it turned out to be one of my very favorite of the videos that we did. And if you haven't seen that, you should find it. If you need to, you can go to angrycalcpoetry.com/Zach, which has all the videos we've made together are on there. But you can also go just Zach on YouTube and find all kinds of things. If you Google If These Were the Last Words, Zach, you'll probably find it. Anyway, there you go.
This song came out, I think just before the pandemic, maybe?
BC.
A long time ago, in an Akron far, far away. So we recorded this song here, and I was so grateful that Gretchen joined me on it, as well as Matt, and as well as Nate, and Seth, and Mark Lee Shannon, and Ben Gage, and this is called Bridges in Time. And even though the world seems to be crumbling, I still believe in building bridges and making time, however much we can. I believe in love, even when it's dark, even when my heart feels it's had enough. I believe in us, even when I hear the words we say, even when I see the looks we make. Well, if the season or down, all that divides, for a season to make up on how we are alike. Build bridges and make time. 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 I believe we're here to lift each other up, even when I feel I am not enough. I believe it's clear, even when I just don't want to see, even when I just want it to be easy. Lift the season put down all that delights. Put a season to pick up on how we are alike. Build bridges and make time. 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 time with your heart. What better gift than to embrace everyone, even your pain. I believe in love, even when it's dark, even when my heart feels it's hot enough. I believe in us, even when I see what we do. I believe because I know the real you. Lift the season and put down all that midnight. What a season and make up on how we are alive. Lift the season and put down all that has died. For a season and make up on how we are alive. Build bridges and make time. 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 Build bridges and make time.
I love performing with these folks, and you know, I can come up here with angry poetry and sad poetry, and you know, makes us feel different ways, or at least me different ways. And then Zach smiles while I'm playing, and it's just like, you know, we just lift right back up. Zach is my happy poem, so I'm glad that Zach is here today. Glad that Gretchen is here today. I'm glad that Matt is here today. It is an honor. The next piece we're going to perform is called Beneath the Tide. So I'll give you an intro while Gretchen tunes. This actually started, I walked more than 100 straight days during COVID because everything shut down. I wasn't quite ready to venture anywhere at the very beginning. I had extra time because like work is, so I was walking and I started writing a lot while I was walking. At time, I'm thinking in that time that I had, and I walked by and there was blood on the street. And the animal wrote calcite. The animal was gone, but the blood was still there. And this line, "There's blood on the street," just kind of stuck in my head. And I put it in my phone and saved it. And I'm going to write something with that. And just, you know, we walk by roadkill all the time, and we don't think about it. You know, it's just kind of like, oh, whatever. And it's just this sadness that this life disappeared, and no one paid attention, and no one cared, and no one noticed. And it was also in the aftermath of the George Floyd murder. And I'm like, this really isn't the time to talk about this blood on the street. And the poem evolved. I kept the line, but the poem completely changed from where I first envisioned when I just sat with that line for about a week. And then I was out on another walk visiting my aunt in Connecticut, and this poem came to be. Yeah. Beneath the Tide. There is blood on the street, blood now smeared on jogging shoes, and a $20 bill. There is blood on the street, and it coats toy guns and Walmart purchases and legal gun permits. There is blood on the street, and it seeps over all 5 flavors of Skittles. There is blood on the street where paid executioners awaiting the next neck sharpen the blades of their guillotine. There is blood on the street, and our tires continue their rotations as if it were but a minor inconvenience. There is blood on the street, and it covers the tears, pleas, vomit, and finally silence of Elijah McClain's open-faced ski mask. There is blood on the street, and it has left indelible stains on Grandma's backyard. There is blood on the street, collecting until it flows like a river. A river so deep that many are sucked under its current, gasping for a final breath. There is blood on the street, the rapids crashing through windows and doors of presumed safety. There is blood on the street, a river of blood beneath the valleys of indifference and intimidation. There is blood on the street, cutting a canyon of pain and suffering and lost childhood. There is blood on the street, and it has sullied our unwashed hands. There is blood on the street, but even as the evidence pools at our feet, many continue to deny the existence of bloodstains. There is blood on the street, but some cry how we need to protect the asphalt. There is blood. There is blood. There is blood on the street.
Was on the album I put out in 2019.
Which is out there.
Matt's on that one too. I gotta face him a little bit.
So Matt, when did we decide you were playing with us? Like, when did you have this?
I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Sometimes things just work out.
That's beautiful, man.
It was funny because I didn't even know he was going to be in town. It just sort of all worked out. Just traveling in his van. Van life. So I'm gonna really pick the mood up with this one. This one's called Open Door.
It's always an open door. I said it before, you can come and go.
Thank you, Matt. This next piece was written as a response to when Texas passed the Heartbeat Act into law. And of course, it has not gotten any less relevant. Shouting frantic hyperbole over some non-existent attack on the right to bear arms, while what you truly came for was the right to their womb.
The thief in the night, the snake oil salesman, the father who still thinks he knows best.
67 years later, the television sitcom, still the perfect title for the poison of patriarchy.
Father knows best. You've always convinced yourself as you reminisce of the days when your TV screen was black and heavy on the white.
Father knows best how to run your segregated 1950s life, your quaint little home, closet doors kept tightly shut.
Father knows best how to sit in his easy chair, newspaper in hand, and demand obedience.
20 years before Jane Rose left Hook, sent Henry Wayne and all of Dallas County to the mat.
When you came to, you were bruised and scarred from the knockout blow, the court having the audacity to tell you someone's uterus did not belong to you.
You've been plotting your revenge ever since.
Father knows best. You still declare, even decades into the 21st century,
Father knows best. About fallopian tubes he does not have. About a clitoris he never even bothers to find.
Father knows best, as you continue to glorify the father of your country, who thought he could own and control the entire bodies of hundreds of humans.
Father knows best. The father of your party grabbed him by the pussy, and you decided you had the right to do the same.
Father knows best. Say 4,392 Catholic priests. I guess fathers still can't keep their hands to themselves.
Your
suffering evident from being battered and neglected through her many years, continuously harmed by the very ones for whom she had endlessly provided. But her offerings were never sufficient. Greedily, they always demanded more. They took everything she could give, using it momentarily, then discarding it carelessly on her floor. The rot piled quicker than she could handle, seeping into her soil, into her water. She lay on her deathbed, the thermometer in her mouth noting the alarming rate with which her temperature continued to climb. As her sickness escalated, calls to her family were made. Many denied she was sick at all. Many wished they could help, but were too busy with their own lives and couldn't be bothered to help ease her pain. Some simply ignored the phone's insistent ringing, unwilling to admit they cannot live without her, that their children will suffer the consequences of their indifference. But the patient won't fully die. At some point, the invasive parasites that push her relentlessly towards her demise will cease to be. And then, finally, with their weight off her sagging shoulders, she can begin to heal.
How many years have we been told our eyes must sink like suns behind the mountain men, because warmth is an invitation to strip the valley of its flowers? How many hours have we spent covering our faces in flesh-toned tarps to keep the rawhide in and the tired out? How many times have we cradled our sagging skin like babies, damp from neglected tears, and swollen from the sting of unattainable perfection? Vanity is a word they made up to excuse their expectations of soft but firm, sweet but assertive, pure but provocative, wise but ageless. Now when my eyes are trapped in glass, I liberate them with a gap-toothed grin and tell the world it can't have me.
Why all those ties and stir the pot until it's hot, till it's hot. Stir the pot until it's hot, till it's hot. Stir the pot until it's hot, till it's hot. Stir the pot, stir the sing no more when I may as well be singing to the floor. They say stay in your lane, just be selfish, just be vain, for the sake of your brand name, for the sake of someday fame. No one cares to make a change, no one cares to share the blame, no one cares you've got a brain, no one cares. So paint my face and be quiet, maybe then you will bite.
Disclaimer, this is a happy poem, but it's only like 30 seconds long. So if you want happy tonight from the center,
I think we're all feeling it.
You got 30 seconds, but we'll get the happiness from those aside. They wanted me to stay inside their box, to color inside their lines. They wanted me to stay inside their box, easily judged, easily classified. They wanted me to stay inside their box, afraid if my box moved, their box might topple from its comfortable perch. They wanted me to stay inside their box, but their box was narrow and empty. They wanted me to stay inside their box, but there were hinges on the lid. Thank you. I'll try to write some more happy poems at some point. Enough to excite my feet rapidly into motion, wind rippling through my fur. For a moment, I feel alive. The thrill dies in a few short strides as I'm met with bars, a gate, a fence, a wall, a trap I can't seem to escape.
Taken away so long ago, faint memories. Wasn't always this way. People come and people go. The cages are in my eyes. There's a way the breeze blows that tugs on my dreams, puts the back of my mind on speed dial. Was ever a forest beyond the wall? Something louder than the running Fawcett's call. The pull towards who you want me to be is strong, but trapped is not where I belong.
Deja vu every damn day. My life closed, defined by the men who built my narrow bars, selling tickets so children could see the sad remnants of my caged life.
I never learned the stories told, the ancient paths and the ancient homes. Huckleberry dances on the rain, but never grows here in the shade. Was ever a forest beyond the wall? Something louder than the running faucet's call. The pull towards who you want me to be is strong, but trapped is not where I belong.
I pace in desperation, my life reduced to redundant circles never leading me anywhere. Despite the illusion of comfort, my body knows that trapped is not where I belong.
There are no ghosts beside my open eyes, free to roam on the inside. Always faces, scheduled lives, one song to sing, but something's not right. How long does it take to wipe the cage from my eyes? How long does it take to wipe the cage from your eyes? How long does it take to wipe the cage from my eyes? How long does it take to wipe the cage from your eyes? Oh, is ever a forest beyond the wall? Something louder than the running faucet's call. The bull told who you want me to be is strong, but trapped is not where I belong. But trapped is not where I belong. Trapped is not where I belong.
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 It's not where I belong.
Thank you. A creation that we made with the intention of that being a song from the starting point from rough drafts. Snake Eyes, Blowtorch, Roadblock, Superstar Ken, Beauty Secrets Barbie, plastic dolls for kids to accessorize in cotton casual or evening splendor, cheerleader or pajama party, with sunglasses, high heels, purse, helmet, machine gun, flamethrower. You could dress them up for a day at the beach or march them off to war. Societal gender expectations, each sold separately. Because dream houses and battlegrounds are not chosen but assigned to save little girls from the horrors of a plastic battlefield. And feminism. To save little boys from the horrors of the kitchen. And nonviolent conflict resolution. Because you have to fight but never cook to save the day. The difference between Barbies and G.I. Joes was simply which accessories we put in their hands. A boy could play with dolls, we were told, but only if we didn't find them beautiful. Only if we pulled the trigger and used them to kill. You couldn't put Ken in khaki shorts and a Hawaiian shirt and have him go on vacation or spend time with his kids. But if you accessorize Ken in a green shirt and backwards hat, an itchy trigger finger and an AR-15, give him a catchy name like Camouflage Ken or Killer Kyle as he rides his Barbie beach cruiser across state lines to kill a couple people. You'd finally have a toy deemed fit for a boy. You know, a real American hero. Everything might be fantastic when you're made of plastic. But when the bullets and bodies are real, the figures still lie lifeless on the ground. A little boy still playing with his deadly toys, as white rage and toxic masculinity turn dream houses into nightmares.
Fantastic when you're plastic. 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 Fantastic when you're plastic.
What's ironic is you could probably sell that. This is one of mine called Percy, Fawcett. And I wrote it after I read the book The Lost City of Z. Great book. Not such a good movie, but great book.
Searching for my heart in some foreign land, a pursuit only Percy Fawcett would understand. Floating down river in some harsh terrain, I feel at ease while any other would go insane. 'Cause there are splendors only God himself would know. If we never ventured, if we chose not to go, most people cower when the future is unclear. But a scripted future is the only thing I fear. I dream of mountains, I dream of trees, I dream of everything but a marriage and babies. I've got no money, I can't hold a job, 'cause there's always somewhere to be and somewhere that I'm not. 'Cause there are splendors only God himself would know. If we never ventured, if we chose not to go, most people cower when the future is unclear. But a scripted future is the only thing I fear. Never before have I explored the stealth of my inner self, the workings of my core. I wanna lay down under the stars. I don't wanna see the sky from the window of my car. I wanna let go, I wanna feel free, enjoy the contentment of my own company. 'Cause there are splendors only God himself would know. If we never ventured, if we chose not to go, most people cower when the future is unclear. But a scripted future is the only thing I fear. But a scripted future is the only thing I fear.
Oh, now it sounding out there, but the music is sounding fantastic up here. Honored to be in the Memory does things where you can go back in time and you can think like a whole year and like how many distinct memories could you figure out from when we were younger. But there are ones that stick out, and some of those that stick out are individual ones. They don't have a connection to other people, like you wouldn't know because you weren't there with me and my grandfather, or whatever. Others are collective memories where something significant enough happens that it touches the lives or makes an impact or stands out to so many of us, and you can talk about it with someone else, and they probably remember where they were and what they were happening. This next piece talks about one of those times, and if you have as many gray hairs as I do, you might remember this, and if not, I'm sure you're aware of it. 10 things I remember about January 28th, 1986. 1. I didn't yet know that hope could just explode without a warning sign. 2. But I knew Julie Polano was the cutest girl in school. 3. I wasn't in school that day. 4. I was homesick with my grandmother watching a television with the screen built into its wooden frame. 5. The flash lit the screen. 6. I was naive enough that even as the rocket burst into flames in front of my eyes, I thought it was only a test run because it couldn't have happened if people were on board. 7. My grandmother had to tell me I was wrong. 8. My illusion was not the only thing that shattered that day. 9. My grandmother would last 11 more years in the Challenger, but her demise held warning signs I had since learned to recognize. 10. The warning signs failed to make the loss any easier.
Hey, grandfather, to hear me call, I see you walking, I cannot follow. Oh, my shoulders are not as wide, and all my running, I can't meet your stride. Though I try, though I try. Grandfather, teach me home. No winter can stop your soul. Do I harbor the strength you know? Am I wearing out my child's coat? Am I wearing out my child's coat? Sunday's waning, moon is filling. Hear your singing, words like marrow. My intention fills your shadow. My words are rolling like clouds of dust. Though I try, though I try. Grandfather, teach me home. With no winter can stop your soul. Do I harbor the strength you know? Am I wearing out my child's coat? Am I wearing out my child's coat? Sage is gone, highway rolls on. I don't see your track, I don't hear the echo back. Seek the highest heights, follow the farthest fields. Oh, grandfather, I won't stop until you're near. Oh, grandfather, I won't stop until you're near. Oh, grandfather, I won't stop until you're near. I won't stop until you're near. Grandfather, teach me home when no winter can stop your soul. Do I learn strength, you know, wearing out my child's coat? Am I wearing out my child's coat? Am I wearing out my child's coat? Am I wearing out my child's coat? There is no sweetness in your sweetbread. Kindness was not
On the menu,
truth restraining order.
already filed by advertising,
Designed to keep us in the dark the very way.
we keep our victims.
Happily in compliance, we draw smiles on the faces of those whose milk
And babies we stole.
So our cartons sell
So our bellies fill.
with the delicious taste of self-deception. The Laughing Cow brand spreadables, because having a baby's killed.
Is hilarious.
Our cruelty now
Self-certified as humane.
The feel-good labels
Like your Oscar Mayer.
are nothing but baloney. Shepherd's pie, the way a good shepherd tends their flock as they lead them.
To slaughter.
Pretending we care, pretending party franks, we're a party for those.
Slowly simmering.
Dogs in a sweater, pigs in a poncho, cozily snuggled in a blanket, because isn't their death cute?
When you dip it in mustard.
Aside hush puppies, like we didn't make all the animals.
Hush.
Chicken a la king, if the king in question were Louis the 16th.
Head rolling like theirs onto the ground.
Happy family, as the animals gather to celebrate their glorious reunion.
In brown sauce.
Triple delight sounds better.
Than triple murder.
Bangers may sound fun.
But they are all blood sausages.
Any moons
Over your hammy
went dark.
long ago.
Sunny side up,
Because the side facing down is where the blood drips.
chicken breast, chicken wings, conveniently missing the S apostrophe, so we can deny they had.
Previous ownership.
Dropping by the billions to the daggers of our callous disregard. After all, we still pride ourselves in killing the maximum number of birds.
With the minimum stones. Failed sales pitch. The best knife on the market, 8 inches of blade that could effortlessly slice a tomato, or an asphalt shingle, or a vein. It is a knife you'll think of every time you leave them alone. Every time you go to work hoping their depression, their misery can hold out until you return. It is a knife you'll hide, hoping they won't find it. Hoping they won't think of all the other alternatives impossible to hide. The way a plate could shatter into ceramic daggers. The way broken glass could tear through skin. The way a tool for carpentry could quickly become a tool for self-destruction. But your mind always returns to the knife. The easy-to-grip handle you continually imagine in their hands. The corrosion-resistant stainless steel you continually imagine stained. You can have the knife sharpened for free in case the wounds weren't yet deep enough. The forever guarantee is for your knife, not your child.
Jeans. just staring at my legs. He says I'm not like anyone he's known before. I'm equal parts love and war. Well, I'm not a concept or so says Kate. There's parts of me learn to hate. There's parts of me I already hate. And though I hold him, I already let him go. The one I love is still in Ohio. But freedom is lonely, and so is this city where everybody's lonely, 'cause everybody's pretty. Down in the village, a man admires my fingers. He jokes he often falls for folk singers who say something profound and bring people together. But I just want to bitch about the weather. With the man I met in Montauk and his wife from Germany, I think of the kind of wife that I would be. Always leaving and returning, but never being fully there. Acting cold and unforgiving even when I care. Especially when I care. And if I had him, I'd just as soon let him go. The one I love is still in Ohio. But freedom is lonely, and so is this city where everybody's lonely, 'cause everybody's pretty. Everybody's pretty. When I get to the station, I'll be reflecting on my wake. Wonder what it is I seek. I'm not sure if it's God, I'm not sure if it's money, or reciprocation from a man who doesn't want me. I guess that's why I travel, I guess that's why I'm running. I can't be hounded when I'm hunting. And I like the way I feel when my hair and face are gritty. I'm the last girl on earth you would pity. I never asked for your pity. And though I hold him, I already let him go. The one I love is still in Ohio. Freedom is lonely, and so is this city where everybody's lonely, 'cause everybody's pretty. Everybody's pretty. Everybody's pretty. Everybody's pretty. I don't know if you guessed it, that one's called Everybody's Pretty.
So Gretchen and I got to make a record a couple of years ago, few years ago, whatever time. It's called Shiloh,
It's available on the table.
and it's one of the coolest things I've ever gotten to be a part of.
It's amazing. If you don't have it, grab it before you go.
And our good friend Jason Chamberlain helped to record that whole project, and he's helped to record most of my projects since, except for the band record that was done here. I'm very grateful. It's good to see you tonight. heart was born, hewn from the spires that sought to reach higher and higher. An amplifier forged a snow and limestone, called upon the choir from rocks as it arose, and it rose to rewire all that was known before. The center of relation, as at the top of Moran, on my quotations, more stone than man, adaptations, reflections as you stand, the celebration of heart and heartland, standing from Moran. Of your devotee, covered in clouds or blue sky bound, you are bound to feel all that was known still soars. The center of relation, as at the top of Moran, all my quotations, more stone than man, adaptations, reflections as you stand, celebration, heart and heartland, standing from Moran, standing from Moran. Scattered shore, you are a bridge, calling down mother with mother's kiss. Scattered shore, seasons thread, you say more than words unsaid. Stone than man, adaptations, reflections as you stand, celebration, heart and heartland, standing from Moran, ooh, standing from Moran, standing from Moran.
Please welcome back to the stage. Oh! All right, now I have to see if we get the blackout. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
I had a bet rolling on who would be first. Yeah, I should have bet money on that. All right, this one is called Sheepish. It's also off of Daughter of the Broader Skies. You might recognize it on there.
shepherd, I shall not want for wolves, so I leave this herd. I am still sheepish, and I'm still sleepless. I suppose our weakness is we want fameless. From Carolina to Virginia, there's not a trace or taste or hint of grace. You're granting me in Mississippi in her home. This is for every woman who's ever felt alone, begging her boss, do you not see me? On her knees pleading to leave me, singing, Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want for wolves, though I leave this herd. I am still sheepish, and I'm still sleepless. I suppose our weakness is we want fameless. Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want for wolves, though I leave this herd. I am still sheepish, and I'm still sleepless. I suppose my weakness is I want fameless.
This poem is a contrapuntal. Contrapuntal, for those not familiar, is a poem written in two columns. And you read the first column down as the first poem, the second column becomes a second poem, and then you read straight across to create the third piece. It's called Statues Teaching History. 1. Statues. Marbleized on top of a horse, plaques of honor engraved, basking in sunlight, perched on a pedestal, casting shadows, hiding in darkness, the lingering bird shit, an undiscussed atrocity for all, the promised shine that never seems to come, another disappointment, another day. Teaching history. The ghost of history, pale white faces gallantly saving the day, the usual names in our young minds, heroes proudly built impossibly high over all below them, the reality of America's proclamations, with freedom preached loudly each day, another lesson read with fanfare in an American history classroom. Statues teaching history. The ghost of history, marbleized pale white faces on top of a horse, gallantly saving the day. Plaques of honor, the usual names engraved in our young minds, basking in sunlight. Heroes proudly perched on a pedestal built impossibly high, casting shadows over all below them. Hiding in darkness, the reality of the lingering bird shit. America's proclamations, an undiscussed atrocity, with freedom for all preached loudly. The promised shine each day that never seems to come. Another lesson, another disappointment read with fanfare. Another day in an American history classroom. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna go out to the mountains again for a moment. I never really leave. Just a FYI. It might appear as though once you go up the mountain, you never really come back down. As I can dream, accent in between yellow blossoms, silent subtlety. Oh, my eyes cannot behold the scope. Oh, my life is a bouquet by the road. Sacred lines dance to the beat of time, tall as they can be. Their tales are told as the birds sing. Oh, my heart is the downbeat. Oh, my mind is never gonna leave. Just like the field around the buffalo, I will grace through your love till it's all I know. Till I'm home. Till I'm home, like a river flows down from you. Never-ending truth. Seat of wild grace, coyote face, in stillness what is want. Clouds begin to paint on canvas blue a portrait of you. Oh, my life is a cloud you could sing. Oh, why do I forget its play? Just like the field where on the buffalo, I grace through your love till it's all I know. Till I'm home. It's through your love. It's all I know. And I'm home. Oh, I'm home. Like a river flows down from you. Never ending truth.
One of my favorites on that album.
Yeah, mine too.
Same. Absolutely. When escape only leads to what you were running from, the headline reads, "The internet is freaking out about a dead cow in the supermarket." And to be fair, the cow's entrance to the meat aisle was astonishingly unique, for the simple reason that he, unlike the endless procession of others, entered alive. He wasn't meant to walk into the store on his own. The plans for his death were well underway. Like so many beside him and countless before him, he was packed tightly into a truck. An involuntary passenger with a one-way ticket to a dismal destination, the house of slaughter. But an overturned truck offered the chance for escape, and off he ran as fast as his hooves would allow, until the strange open doors beckoned him. A respite, perhaps, from the horrors both behind and ahead. But his supposed sanctuary was already filled with the bodies of his bovine brethren, dismantled and displayed in coolers kept frozen to impede their decay. A sudden bullet sent his body to the ground, falling lifeless like the package remained surrounding him. The customers, it seems, were upset that they had so vividly witnessed the pools of blood seeping from the broken remnants of someone who, only moments ago, was standing on his own four legs. They preferred not to think of the burgers as dead. Thank you.
All right, so we're winding down here. Just a couple last little pieces for you. One of which is a song of mine called Songbird. I always say that this song, we were playing it earlier, it's kind of like a meditation for me when I play it. It was actually a breakup song, so I don't know why it was so meditative for me, but maybe that's what I needed at the time. Thank you all for hanging out tonight. I know you could be anywhere and you chose to be here, so that really means a lot to us. Real quick while I'm tuning, can we give it up for Nate and Seth Vale?
Woo! Yeah. Sorry. It was genuine, but I didn't mean to collect the beat. But they're awesome.
They're awesome, and I think it goes without saying that we need spaces like this. This is such a gem in Akron, Kenmore, this entire area. So keep coming to all of their shows and events whenever you can.
Rialtotheater.com. Somebody posted online, Shatun, I think it was Megan, but with everything going on, like, tell me things you love about Akron because we need good. And the Rialto was like the first thing that came to mind. It's just absolutely one of my favorite places. Even before I was performing here, just coming and the atmosphere and the vibe and the people who collect here. Certainly one of my favorite places in Akron. So I'm glad to be here tonight.
Likewise.
I don't expect you to seek what you aspect of life and love. Where love would provide enough, but we were both born too soon. And though you know who I am no longer the surgeon or the virgin, nor flighty songbird. And with a thread unraveled, you gently asked me to sew. And with a wind wouldn't howl, I only asked you to blow. And so we leaned on the other, thinking neither would fall. And when our knees finally buckled, we held the other red fall. But when we look at the foundations we built upon, neither accounted for growth or the absence of brawn. And still I loved you with no expectation or pause. And when I blossomed, you shielded me from the frost. And though you know who I am no longer the surgeon or the virgin, nor flighty songbird. An open letter to Governor Abbott regarding
I hate to say this, but there are more people shot every weekend in Chicago than there are in schools in Texas. And we need to realize that people who think that, well, maybe if we just implement tougher gun laws, it's going to stop it.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott in a press conference following the tragic school shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde.
Governor Abbott, since you're fond of finding numbers larger than the 21 deaths inside Robb Elementary School, I thought we could continue the comparison.
60,500,000, the number of more guns than humans in this country.
20 million, the number of AR-15s legally circulating in America.
15 million, the amount of money the National Rifle Association paid last year to buy politicians.
4,164, the number of gun deaths in Texas in 2020 versus 1,745 in Illinois.
2030, the expected graduation year of Robb Elementary's 4th grade class.
2021, The year you signed permitless carry into law.
2016, the year your state required public universities to allow students to open carry on campus.
2004, the year the federal assault weapon ban expired unreplaced.
911, the number that one student called 5 times, pleading for help, while 19 officers remained just outside her classroom in the safety of the hallway.
173, the number of rounds found inside the school yet to be fired.
142, the number of rounds found inside the school that had already leapt towards victims.
100, the number of rounds the gunman immediately fired into 2 connected classrooms.
77, the number of minutes that surviving students in classrooms 111 and 112 waited between when the shooter entered the room and when the police did.
74, the number estimated from photos of, quote, good guys with a gun it takes after more than an hour, 17 wounded and 21 dead to stop a bad guy with a gun.
60, the percentage of guns recovered in Chicago that were purchased from states with weaker gun laws.
40, the percentage of Uvalde's city budget that goes to the police.
26, the number of days between a mass shooting in New Zealand and their banning of most semi-automatic weapons.
25, the age when you were old enough to rent a car from most rental companies because, you know, those things could kill someone. But what greater than lesson would be complete without also examining less than?
18, the legal age in Texas when an AR-15 can be purchased.
10, the number of days since a white supremacist had used an AR-15 to take 10 lives in a Buffalo grocery store.
1, the number of mass shootings needed for the UK to ban semi-automatic weapons.
1, the number of U.S. state governors killed in office in our entire history. Your safety, it seems, always takes precedent.
1, the number of students who smeared themselves with a dead friend's blood, hoping she, unlike her friend, might only have to play dead.
0, the waiting period in Texas to buy a firearm.
0, the number of days after turning 18 the killer waited to buy his AR-15.
0, the number of students left unscathed.
Every bullet takes. Every bullet is pain. No exceptions, no rules. Mother cries every time. No exceptions, no rules. Light your candle for the headline. Nothing is out of reach. We put a man on the moon. Can we live in peace? Nothing we can't conceive. Yet the tears flow like falling leaves. Will we say we do value? Every minute we waste. Invest in the grave. someday we won't have to like sing these songs and write these
That would be
poems.
cool.
It would be nice.
We just talked about the fireflies.
I hope so.
Yeah, sounds real good.
One thing I know, that it is such an honor to be able to share an evening and a stage with some of my very best friends. And not only up here, but in this room, there's just so many amazing, wonderful people that are really deep and dear friends to all of us, to this community, to this place. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. As tempting as up on a mountain would be right now. And I'm so grateful for y'all, and just so thankful to be here with Gretchen and Keith especially. And I don't think without these two that I would probably be even like alive. So I really appreciate y'all. And hopefully, it's all up in the air. No one knows anything, but there's a chance that there will be this yoga festival on Thursday downtown at Lock 3. And if it happens, my good friend Matthew DeRubertis and I will be part of the music there, along with our friend Samuel Salisbury and Uzayas and Jim and Mark. It's just an awesome group of folks doing great music and a lot of very heart-opening things, and chanting mantra, and just trying to find community in grief. And again, if it happens, Big Love's going to have a little space where there can be like a shared grief spot where folks can just kind of sit. If you want to talk, you can talk. If you don't, we can just kind of sit together and try to process a little bit of the immense grief that the last couple of years have brought, on top of all the grief that's been there for, ever since our first breath. So those are things happening. So it might happen. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, we're still going to try to chant somewhere, somehow. I think the world could use a little bit more mantra. Something to open up the hearts. However we have to do that, would be lovely.
And then you're back in the Rialto.
I'm back here on this stage. Yeah.
What's the date?
Just mark on your calendar the 28th. I'll be back here with some of my band, the Bright Lights, and we're going to be doing like a storytellers kind of thing. So I'll be singing a bunch of different songs throughout my 27 and a half record career, and maybe playing one of the songs off the 28th record, which will come out next month. And so that'll be a lot of fun, and I hope that you might, that might make, the top couple things that you're going to do that day. That would be really, really lovely. So thanks for coming out tonight and for being here and supporting this amazing place, as we've talked about before. The Rialto is amazing! Woo! Everywhere I go, I say that, Portland's great. Oh yeah, LA is great, but there's no Rialto. And it's a true story. And I tell the people there, I'm like, you need to do things like the Rialto in Akron, Ohio, because whatever you're doing is not cool enough. You need the Rialto, you need this vibe, you need community all the time. It's amazing. I love it so much.
You know it's not quite time for that one, right?
What was it?
You know that's not quite time for that one, right? Because you're strumming. I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
You're close, but
Close.
okay. All right. Gretchen has a poem though.
I got so excited about how awesome everybody is.
I know. I mean, it's good. It was going, but I could tell you were strumming, and I was like, I think you're starting.
Well, we got 2 more pieces for you. Technically 3, but this one's just a poem.
Just a poem.
It's just.
Wow, I'm leaving.
I meant that it's short, not that it wasn't impactful. Okay, you know what?
I knew exactly what you meant, but I'm still getting shit for it.
How dare you? All right, this one's called Hush Hush, and I wrote it recently. If fireworks can scream, why can't we? It was hush hush when my mom was 16 and noticed a peer disappear for 9 months. Babies aren't quiet, but their mothers always had to be. I am not quiet when I am pleasured. I am not quiet when I dissent. How can we celebrate a country where someone's baby has to carry one, where missing Indigenous women are never sought or found, where black mothers die threefold because white mothers are bleeding next door, where genitals are inspected before pronouns are respected, and marriage equality was just a passing dream. If fireworks can scream, so can we. This one is called One for All, and it's kind of along the same lines.
Indestructible circular shield. Either way, making sure to highlight those broad stripes and bright stars. Stand, we are told, hand proudly over heart, pledging blind allegiance to the virtuous defender of this land of the free, this home of the brave. The amber waves of grain, the open arms for the tempest tossed, the country, we are told, God shed his grace upon. Self-proclaimed hero of our own storybook, regurgitated repeatedly into school children's unquestioning ears, grooming good little patriots. But with closer inspection, with the benefit of time, we came to see the blood dripping from the shield, the stolen land beneath our feet. We learned that what we shared with the Indians, despite parading our paper pilgrim hats in the hallway, was smallpox and the bullet end of a rifle. Our captain, America, was trading slaves and sewing white hoods, always in the way of progress, always protecting the patriarchy, preemptive attacks, misplaced retaliation, oil wars and arms deals, for-profit prisons, children in cages, the tempest tossed away. Our claim to be the hero of the story started to conflict with the body count. Liberty and justice for all, but hollow words on a page still waiting to be realized. America, the superhero, revealed to be just another comic book fantasy with continuity flaws. Coming around and filming. Thank you so much, Janine. Rob over there, dear friend, always very supportive. Thank you for helping with that. Kim Fenton can't be here tonight. Really good friend of mine, but also my editor. Every time I finish a piece for years and years and years, the first thing I do is I send it to Kim. And sometimes it comes to, I remember the first time, I've been writing for a little while, the first time I got my poem back from Kim with no suggestions. I'm like, wait, what? And it was actually a poem. I really wasn't even sure it was a poem. Like, what is this mess? Is this, what do I do with this? And she's like, no, this. I'm like, so anyway. So I've definitely grown among the time, but Kim has been amazing in helping my poem, shape my poems. Dion D. Hunter also has done some editing for me, dear friend of mine as well. And we're about to take you home with one last song. I say we because, they are about to take you home with one. The collective, we, SI for the greater good, will stay quiet.
And also, Matthew's got a lot of music too. Seer music is his kind of meditative, really beautiful stuff. I'm not sure if there's a specific place you want people to go for it, but Spotify, Seer music, SEER music.
ZachMusic.net, GretchenPleuss.com, AngryCardPoetry.com. Check us out.
Oh, when things can get kind of heavy, it's hard to believe we can just walk up to the sky. It's hard to believe you can walk up to the sky. Fields with wildflowers, fields of life. One foot in front of the other, the path of minds. Birdsong symphonies, play like there is only love, only us rising up where there is only love, only love. Time to believe we were just down below. I look into existence. Are they to see a road? Economy and politics have never made the hike. And I think of my importance, but I'm nothing in sight. I only wanna feel the breath of this place, rising up to where there is only love, only us, rising up to where there is only love. There's no direction you can't see. On the mountain of sheep, storms, and ladybirds, a million stories of mother's touch. Rising up to where there is only love, only us. Rising up to where there is only love. Rising, rising, rising up. Rising up, yeah. Rising up, rising up.
I hope you had at least half as much fun as I did sharing time with these amazing folks and these amazing folks. Matthew DeRubertis on bass on a day's notice, and if I'm not mistaken, on about 60 seconds notice on joining in for the awesomeness that happened at the end. Gretchen Pleuss joining us from Michigan. Zach joining us part-time from Wyoming. Thank you so much for being here.
Allison.